moments of truth. Things that, through expressions in time, through the course of lifetimes, through the course of others' experiences, things you acquire knowledge of through time. Do you share those with others? And when you do, you speak the truth. Or are you repeating stuff that's not? Are you speaking unspoken truths? Or are you promoting propaganda for selfish gain? The videos that I have shot on my YouTube channels and other social media over the last decade or so that were putting me in a light that some would say why, others would not do, has been for a myriad of reasons. It's because in that moment, it was the truth. I don't try to alter videos or back up and go, oh no, I gotta take that out because there was a flub or a mistake. We all make mistakes in life. The art of learning from your mistakes and correcting them so you don't keep doing the same thing over and over again, thus defined as insanity by current academic human standards, is a fine art. It takes one of intense looking at self, looking at the world around you, and then also being confident that they weren't mistakes, even if they caused problems for self, if you were intending it to benefit the whole. To some, this may sound like psychobabble. It's not. It actually has a far deeper purpose. It's been quite a while since I've recorded anything new, for many reasons. It's given me time to work on doing some healing, which I've really physically needed. I've been very beaten down, depleted, hurt physically for putting myself out on front lines that many wouldn't do. And I understand why they wouldn't do it, believe me. I'm missing teeth because of assaults, hit and runs, literally, way too many of them, and haters. I'm not trying to be a finger pointer. I'm not trying to say, that everything in my life has been perfect and none of it was my fault. I'm sure people could find fault with things I do, but for a greater purpose of eternity. Since the beginning of recorded time, we seem as a whole in humanity and humankind to have missed the greater picture and the greater message. if you'll take the time and look through as many of the videos that you can find on my various YouTube channels on Disaster Relief Inc., Kurt Kelly Entertainment Intel at Gmail, Disaster Relief Inc. at Gmail, INC, Kurt Kelly, KKEI at Gmail. I'm giving you email references to find the channels quickly. Breaking All the Rules at gmail.com. Kurt Kelly Signature Voiceover at gmail.com. If you can find any videos that my government and others haven't had hidden and removed on Live Video Inc. or Live Video Inc. News at Gmail or Kurt Kelly at Gmail, if you can find ways through the back doors on servers. I'm not asking you to commit crimes, but if you have the knowledge of how to access that material that has been put out there, some that has seen millions of hits and then been suppressed from public light because of the information it was giving up, and can look at what I call real truths. You'll see, well, some may call it insanity. You'll see someone who's been willing to put their assets on the line for the greater whole of humanity. We've missed the message with politics, religion, organized crime, organized private societies or groups, the greater picture as a whole. And from infinity to infinity, I would be doing a disservice to myself, to my Creator. I don't want to argue who has a better God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus. Go down the list of gods that they've taught throughout times. I'm looking at common threads. Common threads. Coexistence. A planet that is fracturing and flooding and rebelling back from what we've done to it. There are those who will argue global warming is not real. I have promoted for years in my travels around planet Earth over the last 2 centuries alone. Working at virtually almost every broadcast network through time, or consulting with, starting in childhood, that we need to find a way to get along. I remember as a 5-year-old telling Mom, hey, I can't follow in the family tree and do what you want and what's here and yours. But eventually, by the time I was 10, I convinced her to let me change my name, so I could have some distancing and create a new identity. So I changed my name from Joe to Kurt and became Kurt Kelly from Joseph Cronin. Actually, there's more parts to that name, but for sake of brevity, you can find those out there on the channels. My point is, if you can look at as many videos you can find, not because I want the hits, believe me, I've been hit enough, and not because I want the hurts, but I'm willing to put it on the line again and say, wars don't work, and hate only builds more hate. And if you can find a higher level in self to promote to family and friends and others, now more than ever is a time to find a way to coexist on planet Earth. For those who still believe COVID, Corona, whatever name you want to give, the CWP, CWD, chemical weapon productions, chemical weapons of mass destruction, whatever you want to call these newfound things that have gone pandemic, AIDS. For those naive enough to believe that governments and people didn't have a hand in it, wake up. And I'm not pointing fingers at a specific government. Many governments have had their fingers in it since World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War. Ask soldiers who can be honest with you, or will be honest with you, despite the ramifications of we don't look, we don't tell, whatever, stand down, be quiet, don't talk about it. If you can find someone who can get to a moment of truth with you, you'll realize that Agent Orange and dirt missiles built in this country and sold to another country, or built in that country and sold to another country. It's not just one government who's had a finger in it. It's time at a global level. We look far deeper into the atmosphere around us, the universe around us, the shell around that helps planet Earth keep rotating properly, and the mystery of, is there life on other planets? Look at a greater picture, because NASA has, in recent years, started to let more information out about other galaxies and possibility of other life forms. There's more information coming to light about unidentified flying objects. Hello. Real intelligence, and I do mean real intelligence, at an honest higher level, would have to let you know that these things are real. That there is life beyond death. There is life beyond planet Earth. That there was life on other planets in this universe at one point. And is there life on other planets in this universe that hasn't been disclosed? When you look at the greater whole of possibilities, honestly, openly, objectively, without hate, without shame, without blame, if you can find a way to coexist and stop destroying everything around you, criticizing and blaming and shaming and putting down, that in itself is a fine art. But for the preservation of the greater whole of humanity, the greater whole of time, for the Creator, the architects of time, I hope you can hear some message of sanity that resonates in your soul, your inner self, to make you stop and rethink for a moment. What's my role?